Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Uncropped. Today we are talking with, actually, just Piper today, no one else. But we got Piper today because we did an episode earlier and we talked about the writing aspect of things, and we talked about what it was like to create the characters and the environment in the world that the River's Edge is set in. But Piper is a first-time filmmaker. So we're going to talk today about her time on set for the first time, and actually my first time on like a real set as well. So it's kind of, I want to emphasize her first time on set. So Piper, you want to like say hi and introduce yourself again and open up with this conversation?
Hi. I'm Piper Pavelich. I co-wrote and assistant directed River's Edge, which is wild to say because this is the first film I've ever worked on, period. So. And I apologize if I have any throat clearing moments. I recently got over an illness.
That's not acceptable here. You have to have like perfect sounding voice. If you don't, you're screwed. Yeah, well, I guess we're screwed. Okay, so first off, I want to go back to like when we first started writing this.
Okay.
If we can even remember back that far.
I was going to say, what year is that? I don't even...
2021, August 10th, 2021, we started writing it.
Oh my gosh.
The fact that I remember that's kind of insane.
That is wild.
I only remember that because I think I posted an Instagram story at like 9,
I think you did,
12 p.m. of us writing on FaceTime.
I love how you remember exactly when that was. That's hilarious.
Yet I can't remember basic information for the life of me.
No, but that's okay.
I guess. It's one reason why you like me? Question mark?
One reason why I love you.
Even better.
Side note, Michael and I have been dating for over 6 years, so I can say that I love him. In case anyone didn't know that.
I would hope they know that by now when our names are on the bottom of the movie.
I know, but you never know. So.
Well.
2021. Wow.
Anyway, my question that I was going to ask is, when we were originally writing this, what did you envision your role on set being? Did you have a vision for it? Or were you just expecting, I'm writing and then everyone else is going to take over the rest? Or did you expect to have a solid hand in, like, assistant directing or whatever may have happened?
So, in 2021, we were both in college, and I was really starting to kind of dive into my creative side a little more after becoming a journalism major. And I remember being like, I want to write a story. And I'm going to be so honest, I didn't actually expect it to go as far as it has. Like, I did not expect to write a film, and I did not expect for that film to be made. So, to be quite frank, I had no expectations of what my role in this would be.
That's one way to say it, yeah.
Well, yeah, but when we first started writing it back when we were adults, but we were kids.
And we were still students. We were still in college.
We were in college. I was like, I want to write something, and that's cool. Like, I didn't really have any expectations for where it would go. So.
But once it started becoming real, like when we were like, okay, we're making this film, like this is happening, we're making it, it's in pre-production.
Yeah.
How did your mindset change from writing to pre-production? Writing is part of pre-production, but actual like deep pre-production preparing for actually making this film, did your mind kind of change about that and you think more about, oh, I'm going to be assistant director? Or was it more, because I'm pretty sure I was like, hey, did you want to be assistant director? Because I didn't want you to lose any creative input.
Mm-hmm. I think when it started becoming real that we were going to make this, I was like, oh my God, I don't know anything about how to make a film. Like, I feel like I'll be more of a burden than a resource, really, as part of a film crew. Because, like, majority of our crew are filmmakers or film students. And
all of them.
Yeah, all of them, except for me. And so I felt kind of like the odd one out, I think. So I was like not really sure what I could contribute besides having written the thing. So again, I didn't really have any expectations for like what kind of position I would hold on the crew. And I think I was a little surprised when you were like, hey, do you want to like be part of directing this? Because I was like, I have no idea how to do that.
So I'm hearing multiple things here. First thing is you didn't learn anything from dating a film major for 6 years.
Okay, it's not like I helped you with your film homework or anything, like
we don't really have homework, we just made stuff.
I know, but you know what I mean. Like, of course I watched you, like go through the program and, talk about what you learned, but I didn't really like.
You didn't need to.
I don't want to say I didn't learn anything from you, but like I didn't like understand what you were talking about because I wasn't also in the program.
I know.
So
I was making fun of you, don't worry.
I know, but I want to explain, like I was by your side while you were learning all of these things, but I wasn't really able to take anything from it because I think it's such a unique industry and program at the school that we went to. So it wasn't like I could just by osmosis learn things.
What do you mean? Come on, you got to be able to do that. I know.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you have to like level up that.
Yeah, I know.
Ability.
Sorry, I'm not a scientist, but yeah. I just. It was really cool when we started to pursue actually making this, but I think I was still feeling like I wasn't sure how else to contribute besides, hey, this is what I think it should look like. Because I helped write it. Like, I wasn't really sure how to direct or, like, how shot lists are made or, props or lighting or things like, I don't know anything about that stuff, which is why our crew is so awesome. And I was just constantly watching them, and I was like, wow, this is wild.
Yeah. They like you said, they did a great job, and they filled in any question marks that we may have had.
Yeah.
So one thing about the title of assistant director, when I was like, I don't know if I approached you about it or you were like, I want to have some sort of part in this.
I can't remember how that went down, but
maybe Dylan suggested it or something. Like, I think he said something about us being directors, and I was like, well, she doesn't have filmmaking experience.
Yeah, so. I think the rest of the crew kind of expected me to do something. Yeah. Because I helped write it, so. Yeah. I don't know.
Since it's a small independent film, I think we have to keep everyone close. Like, if someone writes the film, I don't want them being like shoveled out and not a part of the creative process of it, because they're the ones that have the ultimate vision for it. So that's what I was kind of going for when we were like, hey, Piper, we want to have you on set as assistant director, because I'll say this, you have an amazing vision for the film, and you have everything that you want to see in your head. I mean, as do I. And we're on the same page 90.7% of the time. Mm-hmm. But, like, it actually made my life a million times easier when you were on set to have you focus on talking with the actors and them being able to focus on you. And then you're just able to be like, hey, can you try this action, try this physical movement and such, while I was focusing more on the technical side, talking with Will about the cinematography, or Murphy about lighting, or Maddie and Angus about sound, whatever it may be. It made life so much easier from my perspective to have myself work on the technical, like, filmmaking aspect, and you work on the writing / actors aspect of things. I don't know if you got that as well, but I mean, that's how it felt to me. It was a giant weight lifted off my shoulders instead of me having to make those calls when I'm not I'm not a very good writer. Like, I don't think about this stuff on a daily basis, and when I envision stuff, it has to, like, be fully laid out for me to actually be able to envision it properly. So that's my thing, is it was helpful to have someone else's eyes that I could really trust with the story, because I'm going to be honest, there are parts of the script where I had no clue that that's what we were going for. And then when we went to film it, I was like, oh shit, okay. This works too. I like this.
That's so funny.
I probably shouldn't be saying that or admitting that,
no,
but
it's,
like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we wrote it together. There are things that happened that I was like, oh, I wasn't sure, like, how that was going to play out, but I like how it played out. So, you know, that's what happens when you write something with somebody else rather than just by yourself.
Yeah. But the tough part about writing stuff by yourself is you're writing it by yourself. It's a longer process. So, I mean, like, I remember when we were writing this, like, I'd have an idea, I'd send it to you, you'd be like, I like that, I'd write that, you'd go and look at the script, and you'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I approve that, and then you'd have an idea, you'd go in, you'd write it, I would look at it, be like, oh, awesome, or what if we change this? It's kind of cool, because we can pick and choose which scenes we work on as well, and like, oh, you have an idea for a scene? Go write it, and then if I see that scene, I'm like, oh, what if we write a couple scenes leading after this one, or whatever. It's more it's like a revolving, self-completing process. A lot easier than one person being like, I have to sit down and write 70 fucking scenes of this movie and have all the ideas on my own.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's my podcast. My rules, not yours. I know you guys host a podcast and you guys probably can't swear, but I can do whatever the hell I want.
No, we cannot. For context there, real quick, I'm a reporter in Lincoln County, Maine, and Lincoln County News, the newspaper that I work for, has a podcast that I am on constantly, as well with my coworkers. And one time, one of my coworkers swore, and I had to actually pause the recording and be like, we have to do that again, because we cannot swear on this podcast. Anyway,
yeah, we can swear as much as we want here. Also, moment of complete randomness. I actually got a notification today, the day that we're recording, is Peter, our one of our crew members' birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Peter!
I'm texting him right now.
Good.
Unless Facebook is lying to me.
I don't know, maybe.
I'm going to send emojis too. I always send emojis. I send the little party popper emoji and typically the cake.
Oh, that's fun. I usually do the guy with the hat and the thing.
Oh yeah, I like that one. That one's cute. I like that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I got us off track. Yeah, so then when we were on set, it kind of felt right to have you focus on the actors and the actions, because you had a really good vision for how you wanted that to look, while I had more of a vision for how the film itself, like the cinematography and stuff, should look. And that worked. I mean, in my opinion, tell me if you feel differently. It worked really well for me. Obviously, we were sitting there, we were looking at everything together, and then we'd kind of split off and be like, Piper, go talk to Isaiah, Cora, and Jared, and I'll go talk to Will and Murphy and Maddie.
Yeah. But it worked well. I didn't know that's what we were going for. Were we doing that on purpose?
I was intending to do that. I don't know if you actually caught on to that.
No, I guess I didn't.
So, yeah, that's what we were going
I think in my head I was more of like, yeah, this is the thing that I can actually do.
This is the thing that you can contribute to the most, so stick with that. And
because,
that's like, what we did.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't know we were doing that on purpose, though. That was smart. Good job.
Big brain.
Big brain.
Sometimes. With certain things. Okay. So, then I want you to go back. Use your brain. I know it's a tough one for anyone. Go back to the first day everyone was there, and go to the night in the Airbnb when we were all doing the read through.
Mm-hmm.
What goes through your mind there? Because there are photos that I have.
I remember that so vividly.
Me too. But why don't you go first?
It was the first time we'd had, I don't know that we had everybody just yet, but the majority
Will and Jared
of the,
were not there.
Yeah, the majority of the cast and crew were there. And we were doing our very first read through of the script. And it was the first time I had ever heard our actors actually saying their dialogue out loud. And it was really wild. I remember I was giggling for most of it because I was so excited.
Yeah, I can testify. Because she and I were looking at my iPad, reading the script as we were going through. And every, minute or so, it was like a probably hour and 10 minute long process. So about the length of the movie, actually. We were going through. I had my iPad. She was looking through with me. Every few minutes, she'll just start giggling. I'm like, is everything okay? And whisper, like, you okay? She's like, yeah, this is just crazy.
It was really cool.
It was. Yeah, it was just funny.
Before that, we had obviously glimpses of the characters through the actors' audition tapes, but other than that, the only times I had heard the dialogue was when we were testing it out while we were writing it with each other. So just hearing it out loud for the first time and being able to kind of visualize how it would be played out was really cool.
It was kind of, I don't know, a weird way to say it, but this is a very weird way of describing it, but like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, it was.
Because, again, we've said this a million times on this podcast already. Hadley and Cash especially are parts of us.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing other people perform that, it's like an out-of-body experience because up until that moment, it's always just been, I am the temporary representative for Cash and you are the temporary representative for Hadley.
Mm-hmm.
And then that night kind of was like a, again, weird way to say it, but like a passing of the torch.
Mm-hmm. It was also just really,
well.
it was also just really exciting because, like I said, everyone except for maybe 2 people was there.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time, it was like seeing how many people cared and how many people wanted to be there.
Yeah, everyone was so upbeat and
People
happy and smiling and...
Yeah, and some people I had never met before.
Yeah, it was a real moment of, holy crap, these people are as dedicated to this as we are, and they care, and they want to put this together. So that moment, every time I see... I'll gladly emotionally admit this, that I go back on Instagram. Honestly, at this point, every couple weeks, and I scroll through all the photos of us on set, and then I get to that last day with the photo, or the technically first day, but furthest down, that day with the photos of us doing the read-through as everyone in the group. That's what gets me to start, tearing up and getting emotional while scrolling through stuff. Yeah. Because that was the moment I realized, holy fuck, we're about to make a movie.
Yeah.
And you get, the caption said it.
Yeah.
I said everything in the caption that I could for that post, and I read it, and I'm like, I still feel this exact same way. So, I don't know. That I don't think you even know that I do that. Every couple weeks, I'll scroll
No, I
through all the
didn't know that you did
photos.
that.
I miss it so much.
I know.
Shut up. I miss it so much. Oh my god. Stop notifying me of things, people. I'm getting emails. Anywho. Yes, I miss being on set so much that I literally go back and just watch and scroll through. I go through behind the scenes. I literally will just sit there and watch 10-minute portions of the movie in Premiere as we're editing. Because it brings me back to being on set. So, I think honestly, since we're supposed to be talking about on set, we're really kind of straying off of that, but it's okay. We can talk about whatever the hell we want. That's our job. So, I think it's probably safe to say that being on set, like, that was the happiest portion of, like, my, like, life for a while. Like, happiest time period, I guess. Because I was surrounded by people that, like, care about stuff that we care about. I was surrounded by you, my family, my best friends, meeting new people who, like, I don't know. It was surrounded by a lot of people who care, and in so many ways. Like, when we're not on set, I got to hang out with you, and I got to hang out with my parents and my brother, and I got to hang out with my friends as friends, not just filmmakers. And I got to be in my hometown, which I love Camden so much. Like, nothing can ever make Camden not home for me. So it was a very satisfying time period of my life. As chaotic and stressful and as freaked out as I looked and as anxious as I was, it was also, like, the best little 3-week time span.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel the same way or not, but, like, to me it hit a lot. And also the realization of, holy shit, we're making a film and you and I are in charge. Holy crap.
I think I just wish I could have immersed myself in it more, because I was also working, so I wasn't able to be on set every day. I, when I could find pockets of time. But yeah, I think that's probably one of my only regrets about it, is that I couldn't take off work to be there fully.
Well, especially tough. It's really especially tough at our age, because we're in that point of our lives where we're in our early, now mid-20s, and we are, like, fully immersed in the work life, and we need to work to live. And the only way that I was able to take all that time off is I didn't take any time off for the first year and a half, or however long, or 2 years that I'd been working at, a year and a half that I'd been working at Bedford TV. I didn't really use any vacation days except for Universal. I took an unpaid time off for some of it. And my lucky part was, for that time, I was staying at my mom and dad's house. So I didn't have to pay for a hotel for myself. And the funds for the film were separate from the funds for myself most of the time. So I feel like I planned that out pretty well, because, well, we were planning on filming in 2022 and we didn't. So I kind of had a somewhat idea of how long it would take to film and how long it would take to do that. But it's tough, especially since you had also kind of just started at your job, like less than a year earlier. So you wanted to, like, make sure that you were still proving yourself, which I totally get that.
Yeah, and I had already taken a few times off by that point, so I didn't really have any leeway.
Well, next time we write a film together, we'll make sure that you get the entire time off, and you get to be on set to see your creation be made 100%.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I'm making sure it happens.
Okay.
Whether I tell you to take like unpaid leave and we take care of funds and everything and we're fine, then whatever happens. But we have to write another movie first at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But no. So, okay, we talked about that first night being there with everyone. Getting on set, first day.
Mm-hmm.
You were there.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed
I
at
was
the
there.
Airbnb, I believe.
We did.
Yes,
It
we
was in
filmed scene
Hadley's room.
69. Everyone was laughing at the fact that we filmed scene 69.
Yeah, because we're a bunch of children.
And also scene 69 is kind of like a really tension-filled scene.
It
It's
is.
the first thing we filmed.
That was wild.
Hey, it worked really well, though. They did a great
did work.
job. I will say we did cut it down quite a bit editing.
Did we?
Yeah. People won't notice, though.
No, people won't notice.
You didn't even notice. You've seen
No, I guess I didn't
the
even
refined
notice.
cuts.
That's funny.
But what do you remember about that first day? There's
It was
one
so
photo.
hot.
It was, yes.
It was so hot in that room.
There's one.
Because we had
photo.
to.
Oh.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We had to obviously shut off any air conditioners, close windows to maintain the environment. And we had a good handful of people in one small room with lights as well. So it got very warm in there.
There were about 10-ish people
Mm-hmm.
in a room that was probably 10 feet by 12 feet with a weird corner sticking out of it. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was tough and no AC. It was probably like 75, 80 degrees that day with humidity.
I remembered being thankful that I put a scrunchie on my wrist before I left my house
Yeah.
so I could throw my hair up. That was good on me.
Speaking of scrunchy,
Scrunchie.
or speaking of whatever, speaking of scrunchy,
Okay.
there's a photo
There is a photo.
that is my favorite photo of us, honestly, because it shows us genuinely so happy, and it shows us clearly doing something that we love. And you are, like, in your face, you're smiling and you're laughing, and you have your Dunkin' in your hand.
I did.
And I think I was pointing at the monitor,
You were.
and I was in filmmaking zone, and then you were looking and you were laughing, but you were also seeing your creation being made in front of your eyes for the first time.
Once again, I was laughing from excitement.
Yeah.
I do
So-
that.
It's a good thing, though. It's my favorite photo.
Who even
of
took
us.
that photo?
I think Dylan did.
Really?
Either
never
Dylan or
actually-
Peter.
I never actually figured out who took that.
It looked like an actual photo.
Yeah.
So I think it was Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Honestly, yeah, because that is literally my favorite photo of us. And in the 6 years of dating, that's number one. So, sorry if that's not your favorite. Oh, yeah, Dylan took this on his phone. It's this one.
Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm pointing at the screen. You're laughing from excitement. You're almost done with your Dunkin'. That was not a good sign. We should have gotten you a Dunkin' as soon as this photo was taken.
I got it, and then it took me a good 45 or so minutes to get to the Airbnb. So
Mhm. Yeah.
that's
Something
why
that
I wasn't
sucked
with them.
is the drive.
I liked the drive, actually. But
It's nice. It's just long. It's
Yeah.
It's a main drive where
I know.
you don't have like highways or multiple lanes to kind of like entertain you like you do here where I am now. But you have
Yeah.
the winding roads, which again in and of themselves are amazing and fun.
Yeah.
And also, this is a photo that I was talking about for the night before.
Yeah, I know.
You look so happy. Anywho, that first day, what's going through your mind besides, like, holy crap, we're making a film?
I didn't actually know, like, the equipment that we would be using. So when I walked in and you had this stuff set up, or you were starting to set this stuff up, and I saw the monitor and, like, you know, we were framing the shot that we were going to start with, it all became very real. So, and, like, seeing it on a screen, I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually, like, going to happen. Like, that's what it's going to look like. No words.
Yeah, it's a big
hence
realization.
the excitement laugh.
It's a huge moment of realization. Even for me, like, I know more of the filmmaking process than you do, and I kind of knew, like, what we were gonna need and everything. But once we got there, I was like, okay, this is happening.
Yeah,
but
it was really cool.
Sorry, go.
No, you.
I was just gonna say, I don't think I had, like, because we were running around so much, I didn't have a full time to process the fact that it was really happening until, like, the last day.
Yeah. That first day, I had time to process because I got there and everybody was already running around. So I was like, okay, what do I do? And then everybody was just like, Michael's upstairs. Like, I was like, okay, I'll go up there. I don't know what's happening.
I love how immediately, like, you're like, what do I do? Michael's upstairs. It's like immediately you're linked with me. You're like, okay, yep, we know what you're doing. You're up with Michael, go.
I got there, it was like, Michael's upstairs. I was like, okay, I'll go upstairs.
Who was the person that said that? Do you know?
A few people, I think. I don't remember.
Probably like Jacob and
but I got there and everybody was like, hi! Like, Michael's upstairs.
And again, this was like 48 hours until meeting these people. And
yeah.
They're all so nice. Like, oh my God. They're amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I got there. I was like, what are we doing?
We're making like, something. God, come
Everyone
on.
was like, I'm doing this. Michael's upstairs.
I mean, like, I'm the one that you kind of check with about everything, I guess.
Yeah.
So. Okay. So day one, we finished that scene, and then we were filming into the night. I think we filmed it till like 9 o'clock that night.
This is funny. Outside. I don't remember this.
We were there.
Was I there?
I'm pretty sure you were there.
Was this... wait.
It was the first night, scene 26.
When...
Cora runs out after...
Yes.
What's his name?
Clap, 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 clap.
Yes. The flip-flops, yeah.
Yes, sorry, I do remember this. So I remember distinctly the sound of Cora's flip-flops running down the stairs.
I think we actually had to, in editing, kind of, like, minimize the sound of that a little bit.
Probably. Sorry, yes, I do remember this.
What, besides the bug bites and just an insane amount of bugs, what do you remember?
You probably won't like what I remember.
Why?
Because this was one of those first moments when I wasn't really sure what I was adding to the environment. Like, obviously, at that point, I knew I was assistant director, but I didn't really know what that meant. And you being, the full-on director, you were more guiding everybody and everything, and everybody was going to you for questions and, like, what the heck do I do? And all that stuff. And also, it was our first day, so everybody was kind of settling into what they were supposed to be doing. But I wasn't really sure what my purpose was. And I think filming that night, watching everybody go to you and seeing you kind of guide all of the process, I was like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I'm not really sure why I'm here.
Also, filming outside was a lot more challenging for everyone. So I completely understand why you say that, because filming outside was challenging in the sense where we didn't have like an organized little area for like where you and I were supposed to be or looking at or whatever. It was more chaotic. Everyone was just standing in the grass trying to figure out what to do next. Those are the most challenging scenes to film. So I don't blame you for feeling that way that night, because it's it was the first day, a lot going on, crazy setup. But I mean, it worked out.
It worked out. Yeah.
It was tough. I do remember that night and how stressed out I was. Like, I mean, I remember I was talking to you a bunch about it, but the first few days especially, I was crazy anxious about how I would be perceived on set. That first day, like, I remember there's behind the scenes footage, there's me, like, kind of, like, fidgeting a lot, which for me is a sign that I am anxious. And there's a lot of footage of that, because I remember I edited the behind the scenes. But there were a bunch of times where I kind of just, like, walked over to you and we just talked real quick because it was helpful to me. Or I walked over to Dylan because he's, like, my best friend, and talked to him. Or Colleen, she's one of my best friends, too. Like, it was helpful to have those people, again, that are close, that I love all of them. It's, like... It's helpful to have those people close with you, especially when doing something like this. Yeah. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. That's day one.
That was day one.
We're not going through every single day.
Thank God, because I don't remember every single day, and I wasn't there for every single day.
Well, that's like 30 minutes for day one. So if we're going to go through all days, we're going to be here for like multiple hours.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, is there a day that sticks out to you in your mind? That just grabs your attention? Very big thinking face right now.
I think the day that we filmed at French and Braun. I don't recall if there was any filming during that day, but I was at the filming at night there. And that sticks out to me, probably for kind of a selfish reason, but that, I think, was one of the first moments where I felt sort of solidified in my role, because I think that people on the crew also started feeling solidified in their roles and were coming to me as well as you. And I think I felt like I was starting to have a bit more purpose on set. I do remember, I think you took a photo of me when I was wearing headphones and watching the monitor. I think I was watching a scene back or something. And I don't know, for whatever reason, you having me do that made me feel like I was really part of it. Not that I wasn't part of it before, but...
No, I know what you mean.
I think that, and then...
This
now... Oh, yeah. Who took that?
Dylan.
I didn't know you were in the photo.
Dylan's capturing all of our moments.
Yeah, you had I remember you put the headphones on me. I feel like it wasn't even a question. Yes, that one.
Yeah, I remember Dylan took this one too.
I remember you put the headphones on me and you were like, "Watch this scene back." I was like, "Okay." And also it was Jared's first day on set.
Yep.
And
no, it was not.
Or maybe it was my first day on set with Jared.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was his third day.
What?
It was Seriously? Jared's third day.
Was it really?
I have the calendar in front of me.
That's
just
wild.
So you know.
So it was my first day on set with Jared,
Oh, because it's a Wednesday. The Tuesdays before were Monday and Tuesday, which are days that you know for a fact you can't come in.
I cannot do that. With the newspaper cycle, those are my busiest days of the week.
Yeah, that's why it was his first day with you.
Yeah. So, now having done this podcast with Jared, I know that something I had said to him on set that day really has stuck with him since then. And so that's also why it's one of my favorites. And because the scene we were doing, the way that I felt watching them act it out, it was one of my favorite feelings. I got so excited, I think I started hitting you while they were doing it.
Yeah, it scared me because I got nervous. I was like,
yeah.
Is something wrong? Do you want me to yell cut? What's happening here?
I was just so excited I didn't know how to contain myself. So yeah, just like a few reasons, but that was a really good day to me.
Well, we have good news is that I'm pretty sure there's a solid chunk of footage of you and I sitting there and you just whacking me.
Really?
There's some BTS footage of it in many of the days.
Is there really?
But that's a good thing, obviously, because that means they're doing such a great job.
Yeah.
Typically, if I'm on set or something and something's whacking me, it immediately means like stop, like fix something.
That's
but
what I meant.
When I know it's you right next to me, I know this is amazing. Let's keep this going. So that day, I will agree with you. That was a great day.
That was a really good day.
It was challenging, I will say, because we were filming in a business location, so we had to take that into consideration and be respectful and mindful of that. Mm-hmm. But it worked out really well. I think that day we were basically right on schedule.
Yeah.
It was the only thing we filmed that day. Because we actually scheduled, yeah, we filmed and finished right on time. But that day was a good one. It was, I think it also seemed to me like the day where everyone had like a day in the morning and afternoon to relax, which they did. And then we went and filmed in the evening. And it was more fun. Everyone seemed kind of rested. I will say that because everyone had that kind of day off, everyone was a little more kind of chaotic mood. So it took a little longer to get everyone kind of like, let's go. But as long as people had fun and we weren't behind schedule, that's fine by me.
I will say I felt like I was a stark contrast to that because I had been up for a really long time because Wednesdays are the day that we print our newspaper, and I get up really early to go to the office to finish stuff. So I had a really long day, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I told you, like, hey, if you are exhausted, don't
Yeah,
come
you were like,
filming.
You don't have to come. But I was like, I want, like, this is one of the only, like, open windows of time that I have to be on set, so I want to come.
I'm glad you were able to make it, like, because that was...
Me too, because it was really good.
Yeah. Did you hear that? It's a really loud truck going by. / car. Anywho.
My house is making noises, so...
It's okay. My apartment made, like, building settling noises at, like, 2 a.m. as I was trying to fall asleep. It was scary as hell. Because some of it sounds like someone's, like, tapping on my door.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. It's like a dream. Anyway, any other days that you want to mention that kind of, like, stuck out to you? Where, like, best days, worst days, like, what are we thinking?
I don't know. It's hard because me as an individual, I'm not great at forming and maintaining memories. That's just how my brain works. So a lot of it's kind of jumbled together unless something really sticks out to me.
Okay. I understand.
So, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I feel you. So, there's no, like, specific moment on set that will, like, live in your mind forever that was either insanely good or insanely bad.
Oh, there are so many moments. I mean, do you want me to talk about bad ones?
Not like bad, but like chaos, I guess. Don't expose anybody, but this person said this on set.
All I will say is the flat Earth pamphlet.
Oh my god. We will.
I'm still mad. Will, if you're listening to this, I'm still mad.
I'll send this to him and make sure he listens to it.
You better not try that if we ever work together again.
That was some sort of chaos.
I don't know, there were so many good moments, and, you know, it was all made up of connecting with different crew members. Like, you know, I think of your house and the cool transition that you and Will did with the staircase, and I think of Cora's gonna hate me, but I think of when she fell on the stairs. And, you know, the YMCA, I think of talking with Maddie and you know, the, you know, going to downtown Camden, I think of Jacob and his binder, and I think of Murphy, and it's, you know, there are so many little moments from the time that we spent together that I could, you know, try to pinpoint and go on and on about, but
that's funny. I like that. The way that you just phrased all that made me think that you were going to get emotional.
no, I'm just reminiscing. And I think of Isaiah and how freaked out he was to drive over the drone.
Yeah, that will always live forever.
And how how in that behind the scenes video he was like, Piper saw that took like 5 years off my life.
You mean the behind the scenes video that I'm working on right now? Yeah.
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 Little spoiler. It's okay.
It's okay. It's a behind the scenes. As long as you don't spoil the movie.
Yeah, no.
Say, oh my god, this happens.
No. But yeah. A lot of good little funny moments.
Yeah, I think.
And, you know, me learning, I'm sorry, I don't remember them now, but I did learn some film terms. You know,
what
like
film terms did you learn?
I don't know, like some shot setup terms, like whatever they're called. I don't remember what they are, but I remember.
Can you describe what it is?
Like when. I think like you know, when you. This is so.
You know.
You know, when you have, you know, one specific angle focused on one person.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember, this is so bad, I'm so sorry.
I'm so disappointed.
I don't know, like, I literally don't know how to describe them.
Talking about like a medium shot, or what?
It was like, is there a term for...
Oh, master shot.
A master shot! That's it, you know, stuff like that. And
which, actually, did you know that a master shot is technically like a debated term? Because people use it in different ways, but we used it in a sense where a master shot is a shot that we film a majority of the scene through from one angle.
Yes, that's what I meant. But yes, like, you know, stuff like that. And I remember, I mean, I'm sure it happened a couple times, but I remember, like, using a term correctly in a sentence while huddling with you and Will and Jacob, and all of you just, like, looked at me like you were so proud.
We were.
I was like, oh my gosh.
You did it. You
like,
graduated words in film, part 1.
And I remember one time Jacob being like, ooh, look at the little filmmaker over here. And I was like, that's me.
Jacob's hilarious.
I know what a master shot is now.
Good job.
That's gonna make me a master filmmaker now. But yeah, it was funny.
You're just gonna take over my job sometime soon.
I'm gonna relearn these terms on set, and I'm, you know, the next time we're on set together, hopefully, and you'll all just look at me like that again, and I'll
We'll
feel
be so
good
proud.
about it. I'll feel so good about it.
Or what you'll do is you'll go back, watch all behind the scenes, and see if you can learn from the behind the scenes, and then show up on set the first day with this improved terminology.
I don't think this terminology was mentioned in any of the behind the scenes stuff.
Well, I could help you study if you want.
Oh, okay.
I can help you study, and then the day that you show up on set for whatever next movie is created with us, will immediately she'll be like, okay, so let's set up a master shot here with the gimbal making a dolly and all the fun words, and then Will and whoever else is on set will be like, the fuck?
And then Will kill me because he has a hard time with the gimbal.
I love that moment where were you there for that day? Where Will was having a hard time with the gimbal for scene 3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but you just did it.
He was like, I'm this close to giving up. He has like a mental breakdown because of the gimbal.
It's really funny.
And then it was like, I'm this close to letting you do this, Mike. I ended up doing it. It was totally fine.
And it went perfectly fine. That was hilarious.
The first take, I did run into the table, so we had to do it again.
But whatever. But that was really funny to me.
It was hilarious. I feel bad for Will. But he started to get the hang of the gimbal, as soon as we were on the last couple of days of filming.
I know. Yeah.
So,
but yeah,
Will, we love you, but next time we'll practice with the gimbal a little more beforehand.
Yeah. The next time we're all on set together, I will learn terminology and I will use it in a huddle, and everybody will be so excited and I will feel so good.
And I'll make sure we're filming that part, that way you can
you
get
better.
Everyone's faces.
Because I swear, those moments were some of the best moments, because I was like, oh my god, they're so proud of me.
I'm honestly kind of regretting not having a whole behind the scenes setup with little lav mics miking us up and everything, and multiple cameras following us around. That'd be sick. So if we ever make another movie, which I think we both want to at some point.
But it'd be a lot of extra time and effort.
I don't care. It'd be worth it. I look back at the behind the scenes videos right now that was just Peter filming. And I get really happy and it's amazing. And I'm like, oh wait, I feel like Peter wasn't there for this moment or whatever.
Yeah.
But next time a movie is made and we are in charge, I think we should do that.
Yeah, but we had PAs doing a lot of other stuff. It was...
Well, then we get more people just to film behind the scenes. We can do more people. I have a list of people that would be loving to do something.
Okay.
We got contacts.
All right.
So, that was, I don't know, we kind of talked about just, the moments. Are there any other moments you want to, mention, bring up as it relates to you being on set? I want to say that there was... Any time that we were filming in my parents' house, that was my favorite scene, if I remember correctly, of the two of us kind of just kind of co-directing, because that's a scene that says everything. Mm-hmm. And we wrote that scene, and it was such an important scene for us. We were so happy with it. And I don't know, it was very satisfying to see that happen and just be there, have you right there as well. Kind of, I think we were really happy with that, and it was just nice, and we were both looking at it all together, and I don't know, we were both very happy at the end of that. I remember that. Mm-hmm. It was a late night, but it was really good. Well, 42 is also a very emotional scene. It has a lot of the same qualities. So you were there for that.
I think you had, that was one of the scenes that you had called me and showed me what it was looking like.
Yeah.
Because it was such a big scene. But yes, I remember 42 because Isaiah couldn't say disappointment.
And then in the behind the scenes, after he did that take, you just point at him, you're like, disappointment.
He was like, did I say it right? I was like, yeah.
And then he said that he blacked out when he said that line because
I
was like, hey, whatever happened, and you got it perfect. So
yeah,
whatever works, I guess.
It's so funny.
Any other moments you want to bring up? Because, I don't know, it was just really fun having you on set and having you as more than just a writer, having you actually have a say in your first project. I would hope that means a lot to you. And also it means a lot to me because obviously you and I are together, and not just in a relationship, but also in this like kind of writing partnership for the project and this creating partnership for this project. And a lot of people say it's challenging to work with your significant other on business or like film projects or whatever. It is. Trust me, I feel kind of bad because a lot of the calls that we have, there's some sort of mention of the movie, but also I know that you're just as passionate about this movie as I am, so it's fine with us.
Yeah. I'm gonna get really real for a sec.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, I never saw it coming this far, and I'm really glad it did. It also happened to be really ramping up at a really hard time in my life. My parents divorced, and it for a hot second it became really overwhelming, and as overwhelming as it was, I was grumpy at times, I'll admit. I'm sorry.
Trust me, I was too, don't worry.
I know, but there were times, we'd be on phone calls and, we'd only talk about River's Edge, and obviously the project has meant so much to me, but at such a hard time in my life, I was like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know how to keep going forward with this and with everything. And I felt really bad because you were so excited. And obviously I was excited, but that really got squished down by the pressures of everyday life. And so I don't know if I've ever told you how much I appreciate what you did to keep it going. Even when at times I was cranky and not really with it. Because not only were you supporting me personally through that time in my life, but you were supporting this project that meant a lot to both of us, that at the time I didn't feel like I was contributing much to because I just didn't have the energy. And so getting through those months was really hard. And, when I was so excited at, our first table read, the days on set, because that was the first time in a little while that I really felt a spark for something that I cared about. This makes me sound like I was really depressed. I wasn't super depressed. It was just hard. I was having a hard time in life.
It's tough at this age and at this stage in your life, regardless, added with other stuff added on, it's 10 times more chaotic.
And, I was so excited because I felt the spark coming back. And it made me have regrets for not being more involved with the planning in the months leading up to actually being on set. And made me appreciate even deeper the work that you did to make it happen and the work that everybody else did to make it happen. So I think in part, that's why, when we first got to set, I was like, I'm not sure what my purpose is here because I feel like I didn't do a lot of work to make it happen. But you constantly reminded me that none of this would have been happening without us writing it. So, in a way, you kind of gave me that purpose back and that spark back. And I say you, I mean, obviously, of course, you, but you all did. The entire crew did. So, I may not show it all the time, but I have such a deep gratitude for everybody that was involved in this. Not only because we worked on this story for so long, but also because it came to life at a time in my life that was really hard.
Piper's going for the heartstrings. That's what I'm hearing.
I didn't mean to. I was just talking.
You got me, like...
This is a podcast. I was just talking.
I know.
But no, it's been a ride. And it'll continue to be a ride.
And adding on to what you said about just this whole time period of our lives is a shit show in the first place. Like, being in your early 20s is tough. Especially when you're like we were somewhat fresh out of college and learning a lot and dealing with all the complications of, okay, what do I want to do with my life? AKA, I just graduated college and I have a whole shit ton of student debt. How do I manage to pay that off, pay rent, find a place to work, and all that? It's so much. But when we wrote the film, it was 2021. We just had COVID. The pandemic was happening. We were having a whole different school life. We had so much going on. And it was honestly like a year after, like, one of the crappiest years of my life. So filming and creating this project in a way for me is kind of a conclusion. It's closing the book on that, because there's so much that still stays with me about that time. And it was tough. I mean, you know me. You were with me at that point, and you know all the crap I went through and that kind of stuff, and stuff that I still kind of like deal with on a regular basis because of it. But the fact that we're about to be done with this movie, Cash is like somewhat a representation of me, and Hadley's a representation of you. It really makes me feel like that chapter of struggle and troubles in our lives at that point in our lives is kind of just like closing the book on that, and we're moving on. Which obviously there are good moments about that time, and there are things that I won't forget and I'll be really happy about. So it's like a kind of like a win-lose situation to me, I guess. It's a double-edged sword. But
yeah,
I'm glad that making this project really gave you that spark back, whether it be because of just being on set or writing it or whatever it was that kind of like really made you feel that. I'm really proud of that, and I'm really happy about that, because I mean, you're a great writer, you're a great creative person, and as is everyone on the crew, but you especially, because I've gotten to work with you the most on this project. Will and Dylan and Colleen are close second. The amount of calls I've had with them, oh my god.
yeah.
But the fact that you and I were able to start this thing that ended up helping you out, that you didn't realize would help you out more.
I don't know.
It's insane.
I was 20 when we started writing it.
Yeah, you just turned 20.
And 22 when we filmed it.
Yeah.
Sounds right. I mean, I couldn't have foreseen the things that would happen, and I just feel lucky that it came at a time where I needed a boost.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud to have been a part of that group that helped give you that boost, because you deserve it, obviously. Not just saying that because you're my girlfriend, but you deserve it as a human. But no, genuinely, like, I'm really glad that we were able to make that happen and have you feel that way about it, because you deserve it. And it gave me a boost too. Like, it, if I'm honest, like, before River's Edge, I was like, I have no clue what I'm gonna do with my life. I knew I wanted to make documentaries, but once we started writing River's Edge, like, we kind of like put it on hold for a while because we were gonna film it in 2022. That never happened. Graduated, found a job, got busy. But then once we were able to start writing again and like finalize and figure out the script and get into pre-production, and then even into like about to be going into filming, I was like, okay, well, I still consider myself a nonfiction filmmaker. This is just like one toe in the water for fiction or whatever. And now I can't get enough of it. It's like a drug. I'm addicted. Like, I'm already writing something else. Like, it's insane to me, because documentaries, you show the world. You show things how it is, and you're able to like shine a light on that. Mm-hmm. Fictional films, that world that you're showing is yours. You create it. You choose what you show. You create everything involved with it. And it's an escape from reality. Like, frankly, that's what it is. As much as I love documentaries, and I will watch documentaries till the day I die, love them so much, there's honestly nothing more satisfying to me than seeing a character or a story you created physically be there in front of you. Because it's like, okay, well, it started out with this high schooler who wants to graduate and go on a trip, and now it's not just a high schooler who wants to graduate and goes on a trip. It's Cash Rivers, it's Isaiah, it's this crew getting the shot ready for his world, his dreams, and it starts out with words on a piece of paper, and it ends up being an entire creation. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's my ramble. But it's so meaningful to me as well. I don't think it's as meaningful as it is to you, but it's really meaningful to me too. And yes, I know I bothered you with a lot of River's Edge calls and stuff, but it's been the most stressful, hands down, but the best time period of my life, being able to make this film with the people that I love, that love me, that want to see this succeed as much as I do. And also made a shit ton of new friends. Like, again, we didn't know like 3/4 of the people we were going on set with. I only knew Murphy, Will, Colleen, Dylan, barely knew Peter, Piper, Cora, and kind of knew David and Carter. That's like it. So from this, I gained 10 new friends. Mm-hmm. And I'm super thankful for that. Do you have anything to add to my spiel?
Don't think so.
I got very off track.
Yeah, I delivered a spiel on my own before that, so.
It's okay. We're good at spiels.
Spiel.
I thought you can deliver spiels on a podcast, but when it comes to me asking you to speak on stage at the premiere, you're like, nope.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So basically, you're telling me that I have to do all the talking.
No, I will do some talking. I'll just be nervous about it. I won't be able to look anybody in the eye while I do it.
But you can't look at, like, your notepad or whatever.
I need a teleprompter.
Okay, no. No. What you can do is find one person in the stands and just talk to them.
Okay, I'll talk to my mom.
There you go. Your mom will be there. Just talk to her.
But even then, I'll be nervous about it.
Find my parents. Talk to them. I don't care.
No, that makes me more nervous.
Why? They love you.
I know, and I love them.
What? How about you pick a crew member? Probably, crew members are probably going to be sitting up front. Pick a crew member to talk to.
No, because I swear whichever one I pick, they'll make me laugh.
Just imagine, like, looking at Isaiah, he makes a weird face, and you start cracking up.
I was literally just thinking I would look at, like, Will or Jacob, and they'd look at me in a weird way. And I'd be like, oh my god.
Will would just slowly lift up the flat earth pamphlet.
He would.
I can so see that happening.
Oh god.
I'm going to ban flat earth pamphlets from the premiere.
Ugh.
Maybe I'll sneak downstage and you can just talk to me.
Okay. But looking at you will make me cry.
But no, like, at the premiere, it's going to be challenging. I never talked in front of people. Like, I've done a little bit of talking. I've like, talked at work and stuff, and in a room of 70 people. But if the venue's as big as we're thinking it's going to be, it's, like, 4 times that. So, it's a little scary.
I'm a writer for a reason.
Yeah, you don't want to go in
my
front of
my audience is just out in the world, and they read what I write. I don't have to talk to them.
Yeah. You don't get a visual representation of you or anything.
No. Just my words.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is what I signed up for, and honestly, I'm going to be really happy when it happens, but it's nerve-wracking right now. I think, honestly, we'll be so in the moment that we won't, like, think about the emotions until after.
Yeah, probably.
I honestly think that's just what's going to happen. Because for when we were filming, I didn't have, like, the emotions until, like, the last couple of days. And I was like, oh, shit, this is done. Like, so for me, that's how it was. But, you know, whatever. And we'll see what happens. All right. Anything else you want to mention before we go?
I know. That's usually what I ask people at the end of an interview. I'm like, anything else you want to tell me?
I do that on every episode of this. I've learned from you, babe.
Oh, thanks.
You learned what a master shot is. I learned to ask questions properly. It's an exchange of information.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, thanks again for doing this. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, we'll have another episode out for you. All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we will see you next time. Thanks for listening.
See you on the flippity flop.
That works too. Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening to Uncropped.